But first, a new batch of emails from convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's estate released by House Democrats suggests U.S. President Donald Trump may have been aware of Epstein's recruitment of underage girls. Correspondence shows Epstein writing in 2011, "That dog that hasn't barked is Trump," going on to allege in 2019 the now president even spent time with one of the victims. Tessa Bennett joins us live in studio with the details and reaction. Tessa?
Manisa, those emails are just one part of the 23,000 pages of documents from Epstein's estate released by U.S. lawmakers today. Trump's name comes up multiple times, but the White House says the emails mentioning the president prove absolutely nothing.
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong.
A shocking confession revealed in an archived email sent by the late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein has renewed scrutiny on President Donald Trump's connection to him. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released a new collection of private emails on Wednesday, showing Epstein frequently mentioned Trump's name in correspondence with his longtime associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, among others. In one 2011 email, Epstein writes, "I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump," adding Trump had spent, quote, hours at Epstein's house with one of the alleged victims. Another email, this one from 2019, drops another bombshell. Epstein writes, quote, "Of course he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop." The messages are part of a broader batch of 23,000 documents provided by Epstein's estate to the House's Oversight Committee. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has condemned the release of the materials, saying this was a distraction campaign led by the Democrats and the liberal media.
Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile. It's not a coincidence that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead of Republicans reopening the government. This is another distraction campaign by the Democrat and the liberal media, and it's why I'm being asked questions about Epstein instead of the government reopening because of Republicans and President Trump.
Republican Nancy Mace, who is one of a handful of Republican women backing the push for the full Epstein files to be released, defended Trump today, saying it's pathetic Democrats seem to be using these emails to bury headlines on the government reopening. Regardless, these new emails have renewed calls for answers about what Trump may have known and when regarding Epstein's activities and connections.
If you know that you didn't do anything, then why is it that you would be twisting members of your own party's arms, trying to get them not to release it? This would be exonerating. If you know that you are free and clear, then why not say, you know what, release the files?
It seems as though Donald Trump had a very close personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and that he had personally spent time with victims in the Epstein operation. And I think that this is just, I mean, it's horrifying. It's horrifying.
The release has also intensified calls for transparency about the full scope of documents from Epstein's estate and the role of the U.S. Department of Justice in handling the case. The attorney representing Epstein victims says gaining access to the entire arsenal of Epstein documents is crucial to provide more context for some of these one-off messages.
Is without being able to see everything, we have these sort of weird, out-of-context excerpts. One of them saying, referring to Trump, of course he knew about the girls. That could be really big, or it could not, but we don't know. We need more context. Of course, just another bizarre emails about he's not that barking dog. Like, what are they talking about? We need to know. The public deserves to know. The survivors deserve to know.
Trump knew Epstein socially in the 1990s and into the early 2000s, but has consistently denied any wrongdoing in connection with Epstein and his crimes. Epstein was indicted on federal charges in the summer of 2019, but died soon after in a New York City prison cell, with officials ruling his death a suicide. As of today, the congressional petition to release the Jeffrey Epstein files beyond what's already been made public is expected to have enough signatures to force a vote on the matter. But before it becomes law, it would have to pass the Republican-led Senate and be signed by the president himself.